Bound shoe. Sabrina can put it up from half court. Off the window!
Seeing the game change is one of the most satisfying feelings for fans. Having witnessed different eras allows comparisons to be made and conclusions to be drawn that only people who have been following the league for a long time can reach. In other words, becoming an old head. In the NBA, this has happened periodically with some players who have broken all the expectations. One of the most spectacular and compelling cases was that of Steph Curry, who with his limitless range and wild shot selection has caused all the teams in the league to play in a very different way than just 10 years ago.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang!
Lillard pulls up just past half.
And in the WNBA, really? It's the same thing. We saw it in our last video about Diana Taurasi and how her shot selection changed the perception about the style of play of the entire league. Something that's happened in a similar way as other players like Lisa Leslie or Brianna Stewart, who have left or are leaving their mark in the basketball elite. But today, there's a completely different player profile, which is wreaking havoc in the innovation and commercialization of women's basketball.
Sabrina Ionescu, you bet!
Are you kidding me? The highest performance ever in the history of a three-point contest, male or female, came from Sabrina Ionescu during this very last season. An incredible performance in which the New York Liberty player missed only 2 shots out of the 27 she attempted. But to put this outrage in context, we can use the statistics of the NBA three-point contest. The only player in history to score at least 30 points in a round of a three-point contest has been Steph Curry. Only the Warriors point guard has reached a figure that Sabrina already had on her scoreboard before she got to the 5th card. But that's the thing about being the woman who will eventually become the greatest shooter of all time. Sabrina was born on December 6, 1997 in California to Romanian-American parents. Her father, Dan, had escaped communist Romania in 1989 and settled into Northern California to live the American dream. And he succeeded, as by the time his wife and eldest son Andre were able to move to the United States, Dan already owned a limousine service. Just 2 years later, in 1997, Sabrina and her twin brother Eddie became the second and third children in the family. Their father was a big basketball fan, so it didn't take him long to introduce Sabrina to the culture, which she absorbed like a sponge. When she was just a child, basketball was her greatest passion, and she already idolized players like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. So when she went to high school, it was clear to her that basketball was her first choice. When she arrived at Orinda's Miramonte High School, she quickly became the star player on the girls' basketball team. She led the team to 4 consecutive league titles and 2 state championships during her tenure, quickly becoming a legend. And it was all thanks to her incredible averages of 25.3 points, 8.8 assists, 7.6 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game in her senior year. During this time of dominance, Sabrina also received numerous awards, such as being named California Gatorade Player of the Year twice. This incredible performance allowed her to choose almost any college she wanted in all of Division I. But the prestige of Coach Kelly Graves made her choose the Oregon Ducks. She'd play there for the next 4 years of her career, but her senior season was incredibly special. Sabrina had a historic senior year that cemented her legacy as one of the best players in college basketball history, averaging 17.5 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 9.1 assists per game.
She learned to play the game was on the defensive end first, and she says, "I truly love it."
She broke a myriad of records, such as becoming the all-time leader in scoring in Ducks history, or the record for triple-doubles during a college career with 26, including men's and women's basketball. She also became the first player in NCAA history with 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds. But the COVID pandemic interrupted her spectacular senior season, leaving her unable to contend for a national championship. However, her performance had been so incredible, it allowed her to move up many positions in the scouting mocks. Sabrina entered the WNBA draft in April 2020 as the consensus top prospect. She was selected by the New York Liberty first overall, becoming the first Oregon player to be selected first overall in WNBA history.
With the first pick, the New York Liberty select Sabrina Ionescu,
while signing a multi-year contract with Nike and becoming one of the most marketable players in the league. Since then and until now, her short career has gone through many stages. Sabrina suffered a severe ankle sprain in her 3rd WNBA game, an injury that sidelined her for her entire rookie season. And the truth is that the injury affected her even during the following season, where her performance was not exactly the most efficient.
behind the screen. Oh, Ionescu off the feed from Jones.
But her third and fourth seasons in the best women's basketball league in the world have finally allowed us to see the real potential of an unrepeatable player. Ionescu averaged 17 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game this past season for the Liberty, numbers that have allowed her to enter the top 20 in scoring in the league, placing her ahead of legends such as Diana Taurasi or Brittany Griner.
The size intimidated her. Honshu at 6'10". Ionescu counted it!
Sabrina finished the season in third place in three-point percentage this season with a spectacular 44.8%, only behind Tyasha Harris and Jackie Young. But what's really impressive is that she's been the player with the most three-pointers scored during the whole season with 128, setting an all-time record for threes in a season.
Ionescu will fire a three and knock it down.
A combination so striking statistically that it's only comparable to Steph Curry in terms of volume and accuracy. But in addition to a comparison that's becoming more and more visible to more and more viewers, Sabrina has another very important link with the NBA. Sabrina Ionescu and Gigi Bryant had a special relationship, based on their shared passion, or even obsession, for basketball and their mutual admiration. Both were, of course, fans of Kobe Bryant, Gigi's father, who became Ionescu's mentor and family friend. Sabrina met Kobe and Gigi in 2019 when they attended one of her college games with Oregon. The Laker legend was impressed by Ionescu's talent and work ethic and offered himself to train with Gigi's team. The rest is history. Ionescu forged a strong bond with Gigi and her father, who would give the then Oregon Ducks player advice on how to improve her game. A great bond that was tragically cut short on January 26, 2020, when Kobe, Gigi, and 7 others were killed in that dramatic helicopter crash. Ionescu was devastated by the loss of her friends and paid tribute to them on countless occasions.
Today may feel like darkness. He was, in so many ways, a sun, beaming, radiating, fixed in the sky.
On the day of Kobe and Gigi's funeral, Ionescu achieved her 26th triple-double in the NCAA, an all-time record as we've seen in the first part of the video. One more example of that mamba mentality that the young woman was able to bring out in moments of truth, and that Kobe surely thanked from beyond the grave. Sabrina's a unique player, for her style of play, for her personality, and for her enormous talent to play basketball. But her potential influence goes far beyond that. She has an opportunity that very few people get to enjoy, even among superstars. The opportunity to not only leave a mark on the WNBA with her actions, but the opportunity to change the way basketball's played. She has the tools, mentality, and the experience of having been the best player on the court throughout her formative years. If injuries don't prevent her, Sabrina will become not only the best shooter of all time, but one of the best players in WNBA history.